you sign an agreement that
Yeah,
you
but
will remove the governor from the state office.
Isn't that, I mean,
It's criminal misconduct, yeah.
yeah.
It's a violation of law, which basically, the people upstairs, you can do it, don't tell people. You're sending letters out to people.
I mean, you know, because the first place that gets burned down because they refuse to go out there,
Yeah.
right? They're getting sued.
That's right. They're gonna
The first murder or accident that happens
Oh,
because,
and, no,
I mean,
okay. We got 2 sheriff's deputies shot, 1 killed in Milwaukee because they were basically going in to show people. They were basically ordered through a door on a family disturbance, which my father was a police officer. My father said you never wanted to get involved in a family disturbance because the person that you're there to protect is just as likely to shoot you. I mean, my father's partner was stabbed in the back by a teenage girl who was being raped by the guy that they were coming in to stop it, and it turned out that she wasn't being raped. She was just making a lot of noise. So when they come bursting through the door because they heard all the noise and thought a rape was going on. She basically picked up a knife, stuck the guy in the back, and then they basically filed criminal charges against the officers that came in.
because they said breaking and entering.
They were breaking and entering. There was no crime being committed. The only crime that was being committed was the police officers illegally broke into a building. You know, they had a B&E, and so there was, you know, they settled out of court with the police. You know, basically, you know, the guy was basically out of the police business for a year, recovering from his knife wound.
Ow.
But, you know, like I said, my father could have been the first one through the door. Instead, he was the one through the door that took his nightstick and knocked the woman cold. So, well, you stab one guy.
You aren't going to wait for him to stab the second one,
Well,
right?
yeah, because, we'll put it this way, my father was a reserve officer for 35 years and he never once drew a gun. Never once drew a gun, because the most officers never do. But basically his union never came through. We're talking 35 years of paying dues in.
35 years?
35 years of
That's a
dues, and
long
he
time.
never got any assistance from them, period, for any reason.
Do you think it was just that time, or do you think that it really goes on still?
It still goes on. The unions are busted. Every union in the country is broke. Because,
Well, that's why they're funding so much for all the different states, huh?
yeah, that's right there. That's why the federal government is trying to pick up everything. But the unions, what it is the unions loot the pension funds and everything in order to pay for political power. You know, and the union rules in a lot of states are that you have no choice. You can't tell them not to do it, because basically the law is on the side of the union. You put these people in charge. I mean, it's why Jimmy Hoffa guy was so powerful, because you know you couldn't tell him as the head of the union what he could or could not do with the union funds. And but you know, right now, I mean, I've seen it happen all my life. I mean, you know, when my mother got $40 on the, she got, what was it, $40 on every $1,000 that she had vested in the union fund. I think she walked out with a union settlement of like $5,000 on a $250,000 pension benefit plan.
That's worse than that.
Yeah, because this was money that she put in, that this was her.
That wasn't their matching, that's just what she put in?
No, that's what she put in. She put in $250,000 of her money into that fund, and got like $4,000 or $5,000, the real minimum out of it. So she basically caused my mother much mental agony. I mean, she basically thought that she was well off. I mean, she basically got screwed on the pension. Well, she got screwed on the corporate pension fund also, because they used the money to buy other businesses. So the executives didn't have any money.
And part of it is they thought that they had all that money.
Yeah.
See, if you thought you had like $500,000, $1 million, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you find out you got, what, 10,000?
You got 10,000. Yeah, you got 10,000. You're planning your life based upon the fact that this is where all your savings are setting, is in your, you know, like your, whatever these 401k, whatever the things are.
401k.
401ks, and that you spent a lifetime and you put like $200,000 of your own money in, and then no money. And you said, I can't make I'm 70 years old. I can't pay for my house. I can't pay for my car. And they said, well, that ain't the half of it. You also don't have any medical benefits either. So, you know, that's why seniors tend to get screwed, because it's anybody paying attention, only 11% of the population of this nation are union. There's a reason for that. because when you screw a guy's parents, the kids generally don't go union.
Yeah, they kind of remember that.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just, it's a shame, because, I mean, I come from an era when unions actually had a reason. I mean,
Well, they were developed because the employers were taking advantage of people.
yeah, but what
And there really was a reason.
But today, the legal system is all designed to be anti-business and pro-worker. So, I mean, basically, we'll go this way. You got guys making $1 million apiece playing pro football that are pissed off because they're only getting like 70% of them revenue.
Oh, well,
Let's see. Are they paying for the stadiums?
no,
No. Are they paying all of the signing bonuses?
no,
No. Are they paying for the training?
nope.
Are they paying for the medical care?
And it's not their money,
No.
they're not, taking all the risk.
Yeah, the player goes out and he goes out and he's on the field and he risks getting hurt.
But he's not taking the financial
But he's
risk.
not taking the financial
like
risk.
the business people
The business
are.
people. And
His is just for his salary.
I mean, I guarantee you, at my age, I mean, okay, I played football, went way back at USC. I mean, she knows it. I sat there, I walked in to watch, we walked into an event and I'm looking at, oh God, how could I have thought this was so big? It just looked like a little tiny, I could have sat there and run.
Oh, actually, you were still old enough to play ball, so I was
Yeah.
gonna say, it's not like you were a little kid when you're at Disneyland and so.
No, I was a college student. I sat there at the one end of the field because I'd run back kickoff too, and I sat there, God, I don't know how I get it. And then I sat there, I'm up there and I'm really getting old. I'm sitting there looking. God, those goalposts look like they're right over there. And why was I so, because I'm standing on one goalpost and I could see the other goalpost. And I could swear when I was running at kickoffs, the goalposts looked like that. They weren't like that. They were like a huge thing at the end of the stadium. And I'm sitting there, why did I think they were like that? They weren't ever like that. So, that's the difference. But it's just, like I said, the laws protect the unions against basically everybody today. Look at what's going on in Wisconsin. They're going to destroy the state in order to keep their benefit package. We got the news today, the unions shut down the austerity program in Ireland. They shut down the austerity program in Portugal. And they're getting ready to shoot it down, the public sector's workers in Spain. So we're going to have the collapse of 3 governments within the next few days, and it's all unions. So that the union power is tremendous, especially if you happen to have a party leadership, a party that's in control that basically supports them. Right now, what happened is...
Here's the challenge, is the president is supporting them, but in the process of supporting them, everybody else is getting more upset with them.
Yeah, it's why
That's the challenge.
He basically... You cannot support 11% of the people against 89% of the people.
It just makes you more unpopular.
Because you can't get elected. I mean, they said, this is ridiculous. You hear the heads of unions, we don't give a rat's ass about whether your kids have an education. All we care about is that we have 3.5 million people that we get the dues from, and we use it to buy political power so we can increase the wages that we're getting. It said if your kids can't pass, you're too damn bad.
Well, that's one of the things with the teachers' unions. Didn't I hear the other day that actually their proficiency level is down?
Yeah, it's getting worse. I mean, and I can guarantee you, I did some, because of the business I was in, I would do, sometimes I would do, because I do have lots of degrees, I could do a lot of things. So they say, well, I need some money. So for $100 a day, I'd go babysit some kids. Didn't have to do anything. I just sat there and show films. That's all I did in the classes was show films. And I got $100 a day for showing films.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous? $100 a day for showing films. I mean,
and that was back in the day when $100 was really $100.
Yeah, and I can tell you too that the teachers don't like grading papers anymore, so they give you smiley faces. They give they give you a frown or nothing or a smiley face instead of giving good. we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And also because if we did anything else like giving a grade, we might actually have to look at the work. I mean, I know kids that go into shop classes where the union teacher basically never is in the class.
Really?
Well, why? He doesn't teach. You know, he basically, I think, well, I know one of them had a teacher. I knew one teacher that was basically over having a great time wooing the French teacher, not teaching. So, this is every day. 11% of the people in this nation think they control the entire nation, which is why the Republicans are basically taking state after state after state. They can't take states without Democrats helping them. It can't be done. Democrats a Democratic president cannot be elected without independents and Republicans helping to elect them. It's an impossibility. So if Republicans are taking states, it's because the Democrats are voting, because it's just like you reach into your pocket, this is all the money I have, and then the union guy reaches into his pocket that's about 5 inches thick, and they said he's got a wad 5 inches thick. I can't buy a $1 McDonald's burger. He's over buying filet mignon steaks, and I'm paying his salary. I can't get my teeth worked on because it costs too much money, and he goes to the best dentist, and I'm paying for his, and he's not even paying anything in on it. He doesn't co-pay anything.
They don't?
No, most of them don't.
Oh.
So, isn't that a good one?
Maybe that's a good reason to join a union.
Well, and then you don't join, a lot of people do not join unions because they want to, they're forced to do it. Obama's latest plan, which they're basically fighting to, they're going to defund his
Obamacare?
yeah, they're going to defund his cabinet office, of which basically it has to do with hiring people, because they want to make it so that you have to, that if you no longer even have to, basically they wanted a card check thing, so that didn't go over in either house. So now they're just going to make it mandatory that everybody becomes a union member, and then you sort it out in the court system. Yeah, if you don't want, you have a vote, and if you get 50% plus one vote, you don't have to be unions. But the problem is that I grew up in an era when they took 2x4s, baseball bats, axe handles to anybody that didn't want to be a union member.
Oh yeah, like that never happens anymore.
Go look at Wisconsin, folks.
Yeah.
Look at, so yeah, so it's just the unions had a place. The unions still have a place, but the unions basically, when the union is detrimental to the country, then something has to give. I mean, my guess is the Democrats are pounding away on. Republicans don't believe in collective bargaining. Small businesses don't have collective bargaining. The Republicans don't believe in this. Well, Republicans, I can tell you this, almost all major businesses in this nation are owned and ran by Democrats, not Republicans. All of those guys, Gates, Buffett, Icahn, all of these people, Jobs, they're Democrats. They're not Republicans. So, it's not, and then, they're also the ones that hire the least union workers. But they'll basically fight for the right of hiring for you, they'll fight for the right for the person that is running a family business to have to hire 50 union workers. Yeah, isn't that a good one? But they won't hire them in their places. They'll outsource the work to China before they'll hire union people. But I only have my wife and my son and my father. You need to hire 50 union workers. If you don't hire 50 union workers, we're gonna, what they're gonna do is here's a good one. They get to they basically Environmental Protection Agency and all these others to come by and declare your workplace as unsafe. Yeah, isn't that a good one? They make you have to put signs when you're doing concrete work on your site saying, this may be hazardous to your health. But it's not hazardous to your health if you hire union workers. Isn't that a great one? So,
interesting how that works.
Yeah, it's basically how it's always been done.
Really?
I mean, like I said, I've been working for 64 years. I've seen it done for 64 years. My father, I said, they screwed my father, they screwed my grandfather. So it's just, here's it, ultimate power corrupts ultimately.
And it's not just unions.
That's right. So I guess until next time, this is Oldecam.
And this is not a spring chicken. We're here yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And for more information,
You can go to www.montybubbles.net on the net.
and wherever you're watching us, subscribe to us, follow our daily newscast in 3D. And thank you once again for over 40 million links on the internet.